Related news, in the past 2 years, there have been at least 19 training-related deaths involving servicemen and women either from or stationed in North Carolina. The most recent training accident was in March of this year. 7 Marines from Camp Lejeune and 4 Louisiana National Guardsmen were killed when their Black Hawk crashed off the coast of Florida. The men were involved in a training mission in dense fog.
And way of life.
It's great to hear that Congressman is really thinking about the Marines who serve this country. Congressman Walter B. Jones spent his morning learning more about a local business in Greenville. NACO Material Handling Group invited Jones to tour the largest manufacturing plant in Pitt County. The company is one of the largest volume producers of zero-emission, fully electronic lift trucks in the North American market. The company's president of the Americas, Chuck Pasquarelli, says this is also a good time to explain their challenges. Jones says he was glad to come to Greenville and learn more about NACO Material Handling Group.
Investigation progresses.
And I'm sure Doe's family, colleagues, and students will all get a laugh about it. Construction cranes will soon dominate the skyline along East 10th Street. In Greenville, Taft Development Group and Ward Holdings are building a whopping $54 million student housing development. It's at the corner of East 10th Street and Charles Street. That's where the campus store is located. The plans are for 700 beds and 20,000 square feet of retail space on the first floor. Construction is scheduled to be complete in the fall of 2017. The fire that burned more than 21,000 acres in the Croatan National Forest is now 80% contained. This is the latest estimate from authorities. The fire started out as a controlled burn, but went out of control more than a week ago. Environmental officials say the fire is no longer causing elevated levels of air pollution in the region. A sad story out of Greenville. Grief counselors will be available for students at Rose High School tomorrow morning as they come to terms with the death of one of their teachers. Police say a Sara Lee bread truck stopped unexpectedly and was rear-ended by a local teacher's SUV. It happened at around 2:30 this afternoon at the intersection of Evans and Greenville Boulevard. The force of the collision opened the back door of the truck, dumping hundreds of loaves of bread on the vehicle driven by Rose High School English teacher Jane Doe. It took emergency crews nearly an hour to get Doe out of the vehicle. She was pronounced dead a short time later at Vidant Medical Center. So far, police have not filed charges in connection with the wreck, but they say that could change as the investigation progresses. Rose High School officials have scheduled a memorial service for Doe later this week.
Other local communities. Altice expects to complete the deal by the end of the year.
It's great to see Altice getting its name out there. An ECU student in Miss Kinston Lenore, is the newest Miss North Carolina. Arlie Honeycutt is from Garner and is a junior at ECU, studying vocal performance. She'll go on to compete at the Miss America pageant in January. Honeycutt won the pageant over the weekend in Raleigh. She also won a $15,000 scholarship.
Validated MS-13 member earlier this year and always monitor all gang activity within their jurisdiction.
What a very scary story out of Charlotte. An advocacy group for rape victims says it's taking too long for rape kits to get tested. The nonprofit Joyful Heart Foundation released new data on just 5 cities where more than 9,000 kits are gathering dust in crime labs. Charlotte is among those cities, with more than 1,000 untested kits. Advocates and victims want lawmakers to put money behind an actual counting of untested kits, along with better training for crime lab technicians. Often, police departments say many kits are left untested because only certain cases are being prosecuted quickly. And remember, for all you East Carolina football fans, East Carolina will face Virginia Tech this Saturday at Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium at 3:30. Thanks for tuning in.